AOC. So AOC is now revealing that she's a team player. Well, color me shocked. Okay, that's it, folks. Show's over. Bye. No. AOC now says she's a team player and will never again try to challenge the Democrat establishment. You know what this is code word for? AOC got a little knock at the door. She got a knock at the door, right? It wasn't Commissar Hans or his deputy Fritz of the political police. No, it was Nancy. Nancy was like, "You, AOC, you need to shut up." And Nancy, being a fast person, was beating up AOC. She's like, "Mama Bear, I won't challenge the system again." "I know you won't. I promise. I won't challenge the system again. Please, Mama Bear, don't. You better not do anything again. And tell those DSA people to shut up. Now I'm going to get my martini and my ice cream and make more money with insider trading. So you know your place, AOC." "Okay, Mama Bear." "One more for good measure." Is that what happened? I'm going to let you decide. But I want to pull this up here. First of all, shout out to Jimmy Dore, Chicago's very own. This was revealed during hashtag Force the Vote, which many Democrats and liberals, again, went after Jimmy. Look, here's the thing. I remember when so many people did go after Jimmy, all right? Force the Vote was and forever will be that market point, that key point, that main station in which all these politicians, their lies were revealed. And as we all know,
all lies will be exposed.
They should. So I want to pull this up here, okay? Because we got a couple things that we have to address. When pressed last month by Killer and Sanchez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said she did what she thought was right at the time. A person familiar with her interaction said, now she told the group she is committed to helping all of her colleagues win in the tough districts, including the moderates, and is focused on helping Democrats win back the majority in the House, according to the person. Jank, Fat Tony, Kyle, Dime Store Eminem, your Justice Democrat experiment failed. You get an F. Matter of fact, you're going to get an F minus, okay? You're going to get a negative 0.0%. And before a mathematician says, that number doesn't exist, I know. But that's how bad they failed. That's how terrible the Justice Democrats truly was. And forever will be known as one, okay? I mean, this was it. The squad, all this hype. Hey, DSA, what's it like living knowing the fact that your champion, AOC, is nothing more than a good Democrat puppet? But oh, wait, DSA is now also a kind of a part of a wing of the Democrat Party. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez didn't apologize as she made her case to become the top Democrat on the high-profile House Oversight Committee. She did, however, tell her colleagues that she has matured and understood that a leadership role required additional responsibilities to support the whole caucus. She promised not to try defeating her colleagues. She's a team player now and will help them win, she said, according to the two meeting attendees. Meetings will continue, AOC, until morale improves. I'm please stop the meetings. Please stop the meetings. I won't. And this is the same AOC who refused to even talk about genocide in Gaza. The same AOC who, did she really engage with the people at the DNC convention outside the United Center? I mean, myself, Russell from Due Dissidents, my colleague Daniel, RBN, Jimmy Dore. I mean, we were all there. We all talked about it. We were all there at the crowd area. We were all interviewing people, activists, organizers, people stepping up, calling out the hypocrisy of the Democratic establishment. And gee, hell, even Craig Jardula and Matt Weinglass were also there. Hell, they were inside the belly of the beast. I didn't see AOC engaging with the progressives or independents. Hey, AOC, did you talk to the, the people who were part of the Palestinian rights groups who were denied the right to speak at the DNC convention? You're going to talk to them? Did you allow them to speak? Did you stand up for them? The answer is no. That didn't happen. So I want to give a huge shout out to a good friend of mine, Nick Cruz, who is doing some awesome content with RBN. Here's one of his little videos from Hotspot. And I think it pretty much wraps it up in regards to what kind of team player AOC truly is.
AOC,
by the way, when it comes down to team player, I guess it's both, you know, dealing with all the shite with the Democratic establishment now. So any talk for Medicare for all or student debt forgiveness, yeah, that's going to be ignored.
emphasizes to Democratic Party leaders that she's a team player now and she would never challenge the Democratic Party again. This comes after AOC fails in her bid to become leader of House Oversight. Now AOC claims her number one priority is not to advocate for left ideals, but to help elect more Democrats, even more moderate blue dog Democrats, which explains why AOC went so hard to elect genocide Joe Biden, even lying in front of millions of people, claiming that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is working tirelessly for a ceasefire. One of the most disgusting.
A ceasefire that has since, I don't think it's going to last, okay? Like, come on. Let's be clear here. Going to make a controversial statement here. Even the Lebanon ceasefire lasted longer than this one, okay? And that's not saying much.
Disgusting pro-genocide lies ever told. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, who apparently wasn't working tirelessly, got a ceasefire just like that. It's clear that the Democratic Party is attempting to rebrand itself after their devastating loss to Donald Trump, and they're going to use AOC as a way to bring as many young people and trick them into supporting the Democratic Party as possible. The progressives are so desperate to trick young people into supporting the genocidal Democratic Party that they even convinced Bernie Sanders to join Hassan Piker and actually do independent media for a change.
Hey, Bernie, I remember when you used to show up on TYT, and I remember a time. I know I'm bringing up TYT, but I do remember a time when you were very close to a guy named Jimmy Dore. How come you don't talk to Jimmy Dore anymore? How come AOC doesn't go on the Jimmy Dore show anymore? You know what? The whole squad doesn't show up on any independent media. I remember they used to. I mean, the closest thing we ever saw to it was the Crystal and Kyle show where Bernie said Kyle can't be in the same room, apparently. So Kyle had to sit in the corner while Crystal did the interview. I find that funny. I find that funny.
We even have Ro Khanna that joined me on RBN to try to convince me and my audience why supporting a progressive vision within the Democratic Party should be our next move. And it didn't go that well for him. AOC and progressives selling out their supporters for their career is the perfect case study on exactly why serious leftists should never organize within the Democratic Party.
Start bringing the ruckus on the Democratic Party. That is our job.
Yeah, and she didn't bring that ruckus, okay? She didn't bring that ruckus. And I just want to pull this up here, okay? Again, just so you guys can be reminded of who AOC is, okay? Because there was this that took place on March 4th of 2024. All right? I mean, this was before she even said the word about ceasefire or genocide. Let's play it.
You refuse to call it a genocide.
I need you to understand that this is not okay.
It's not okay that there's a genocide happening. You're not actively against it.
You're lying.
I'm lying.
You're not.
You went on TV and avoided talking about it.
You was not acting. You can't say it's a genocide or what you're deciding for political race. You can't call it a genocide. How do you say
We're not lying.
We're not lying.
You've been
We're not
saying it in
TV.
interviews. It's insane. You haven't been calling it a genocide. Don't tell me I'm lying. Oh, then just say it's a genocide. Just say it. Over 30,000 people have died.
Mastermind Hour, an outstanding moderator, by the way. She didn't bring the ruckus. She started kissing the tuckus. Hey, Mastermind, That's funny, but get up and go see the White House counselor. And I want you to tell Wendy what exactly you just said. Shame on you.
Or that AOC, you can't just say it for once. Just say the word. That's it. That's all we want you to say. Or you're not angry about people who fucking Republicans can't call genocide all over about people dying.
Stop. Okay? Stop. Stop.
We're not doing anything. We're just talking to an elected participation. That's all we're doing. That's it.
Cut it, and you're going to cut this, and you're going to clip this so that it's completely out of context. I already said that it was, and y'all are just going to pretend that it wasn't over and over again. It's fucked up, man. And you're not helping these people, and you're not helping them.
Why are you swearing, AOC? That's not family friendly. Come on. Come on.
You're not helping them.
By the way, I still can't find the video now, but there is a video where I guess her boyfriend, fiance, puts his arm around her and she like pushes it off, like, get off. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Well, not that funny, but it's just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. Okay. All right. And by the way, I just want to pull this up here. If you're a progressive, the road for your movement inside the Democratic Party leads to a graveyard, from Shama Sawant. Shama Sawant isn't wrong. She isn't incorrect. And, you know, by the way, folks, I want to pull this other video up here too. It's a Coca-Cola classic from 2022 when Jose Vega called out AOC.
Congresswoman, none of this matters unless there's a nuclear war, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, she's left the Democratic Party because they're a bunch of war hawks. Okay? You originally voted, you ran as an outsider, yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a thermonuclear war with Russia and China. Why are you playing with the lives of American citizens? You're playing with our lives.
There will be no neighbors if there's a nuclear bomb. You voted to mobilize and send money to Ukrainian Nazis. You're a coward. You're a progressive socialist. Where are you against the war mobilization? He's telling the right truth. You have done nothing. Tulsi Gabbard has shown guts where you've shown cowardice. I believed in you, and you became the very thing you sought to fight against. That's what you've become. You are the establishment, and you are the reason why everybody will end up in a nuclear war unless you choose to stand up right now and denounce the Democratic Party. Will you do that? Yes or no? Okay, simple. Are you going to stop nuclear war? Yes or no? There is no line, because this is bullshit. None of this matters if we're all dead. None of it. You know that. Then let's take it up right now, because this is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters right now. We could be in a nuclear war at any minute.
And by the way, again, this video did come out in 2022. Boy, has a lot changed for AOC, the team player.
You continue to fund it. That's what's going on. Why not right now?
You are being rude. One more time.
Why not right now?
You are being rude.
You're the liar here. Nobody has held you accountable. That's what's happening. And it is time for you to stand up and realize that what you've been saying has been lies. Let your conscience come through for once.
And by the way, John Michael, who tipped $2, AOC is an absolute joke now. Oh, absolutely, indeed. But it says a bigger thing altogether about the Democrats and people like AOC and the squad. And that is, on paper, as we have acknowledged before, the Justice Democrats' brand new Congress, Our Revolution, DSA's plan to try and reform the Democratic Party from the inside. It seemed like a good idea. I was more in support of third parties, but I was willing to give it a chance to hear it out. And I remember the absolute euphoria, I think a lot of us remember, when AOC won in 2018. It was a very huge sight. Kind of filled people up with motivation, especially after what happened and what we all went through during the Democratic primaries of 2016 and how Bernie Sanders continued to be smeared and slandered. But we all didn't know just how much of a spineless wonder Bernie Sanders would be. But it did give hope. But as time progressed, as a lot of people were pointing out, and eventually when it came down to forced to vote, it was abundantly clear that AOC, she's making this revelation now that she was a team player. No, she's always been a team player. I remember when she was crying when Nancy Pelosi was wagging her finger at her, turning her no vote to a present vote. She's always been a team player. This whole idea of having accountability over these politicians. I mean, Justice Democrats, Brand New Congress, Our Revolution, DSA, there was a lot better ways in which you guys could have and should have still had influence and control. Like, again, putting in contracts or details in which would prevent people from going astray. But the thing is, I'm wondering about the vetting process, because the squad was never the squad at all. It was a nickname, a derogatory nickname that was created by Nancy Pelosi towards the quote unquote squad members. And when we asked the squad, those 15 congressmen and women, to be part of that forced to vote petition, they were nowhere to be seen. Same thing for the March for Medicare for All, or even that 3-day General Strike Summit meeting that took place in 2021. They were not there. They didn't show up. But now, since AOC lost this key battle, she learned her lesson. She will behave. We got a lot of people watching this. And I want everyone to keep on sharing these videos. Keep on sharing this so we don't forget. Because I'm willing to bet in 2026, we're going to see AOC in the squad again, but telling all of you to vote Democrat. And if there's going to be any quote-unquote progressive challenger, if you think AOC is going to go to bat for you, she will stab you in the back. She's not going to shake the system. Her pathway to being Nancy 2.0 is on its way to fruition. So for everyone who did the memes of AOC being the next mama bear, yeah, pretty much it. She's not going to challenge the Democrat Party, because the Democratic Party, as a private institution, will decide where their party goes. And since the Democrats have been epic big brain decision makers, that party is heading towards extinction, because no one trusts the Democratic Party or its politicians or anyone associated with it. The damage is done too little, too late. And we are all now finally confirming it, that we have to leave the Democrat Party. Simple as that.